Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Gift and you're welcome to Gift Couture. So in today's tutorial, I want to show you how to draft a basic bodice pattern. Alright, so if this is your first time of coming across my channel, please do well to like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure you share this video with your friends. Alright. One good thing about this pattern that I just did is you can use it even if you are ready to wear. You want to go into ready to wear, you can use it. Follow this method and it works. This is something I paid so much to learn. Okay, so I'm just giving it out for free. For now, all I need is your support. Please just subscribe. Thank you. So now the first thing you are going to do is get your pattern paper, your tape roll, your marker, and then mark one end, just like what you're seeing on the screen. I'm not going to be too fast. All right, when you're done, mark that line. So this very line that you are going to draw is called the top line. All right, so this is the beginning of your pattern paper. So the next measurement is your shoulder measurement, which is from that top line downward rather, is 1.5. so when you are done, go ahead and connect it. Like I said, I'm not going to be too fast, so you have to pay attention. All right, so from that top line, you can from there go downward and mark your bust point. Okay, place your tape on that top line and mark your bust point, then mark your half length. All right, your half length or full front length. In pattern drafting, it is called full front length. So now the full front length is different from the back half length, which is also called napped waist in pattern drafting. So you are going to go ahead and mark it. That's your bust point and your half length or full front length. So when you're done, go ahead and connect it. You're done connecting. All right, place your tape roll on the half length. Like I said, is either you call it half length or full front length. Place it on that half length downward and mark 8 inches. That 8 inches is your hip line and is mostly used for all sizes unless the person is very tall. So then you can increase it to 9 or 10. Like I said, 8 is okay. You can increase it to 9 or 10 let's go ahead and label depending on how horizontal lines. The first one is hip line, the second one is half length, this third one is the bust point and the shoulder line, and lastly the top line. All right, so if you've gotten to this point, divide your shoulder into two. Remember, we have the shoulder front and the shoulder back. So for the shoulder front, go ahead and divide your shoulder into two on that shoulder line, the horizontal line that we drawn. All right, so divide your shoulder into two like that, and then to get the neckline, I'm going to be using 3. All right, so for you, if you're on a bigger size, you can divide your hip, your bust by 8. So after dividing it by 8, whatever you have, add 1 to it and divide it by 2. So this will give you your actual neck width. Let's say if you are on bust 34, you are going to use like 2.5. all right, so just like that, divide your bust. Let's say you have bust 34 divided by 8 plus 1 divided by 2. I hope this is making sense. So when you are done doing that, go ahead and connect your neck to your shoulder slope slantly. So next thing is to go ahead and measure our armhole. So in order to get our armhole, which we are going to, on that line, you are going to divide your bust into 6 plus 1.5, and whatever you have, you mark it and connect the dotted lines just like this. And this is what we call the across chest measurement. Now, if you don't know how to get your across chest measurement, you are going to minus ½ inch from your shoulder, because the across chest measurement is not always the same. So you are going to minus half from your shoulder and then mark it. So on that across chest, you are going to divide your bust measurement, the same measurement you are going to use on your bust point, mark it on that across chest and do the same thing on the bust point. let's say your bust is 50 divided by 4, that will be 12.5. Mark it like that. Now the distance from that your bust to your cross chest measurement, where you mark your cross chest, divided by 4, that is for the front. All right, for the back is different. From your shoulder downward to your cross chest, divided by 2. Whatever you have on the midpoint, you are going to go in by 0.5. So go in by 0.5, just like this. And then when you are done, use your French curve. If you don't have French curve, you can use your hand to connect it. All right. So now that you are done, let's go down to our waist. On the waistline, you are going to divide your waist into 4 and mark it, and go to your hip line, divide your hip into 4 and then mark it. The purpose for this tutorial is just for you to know how to draft your basic bodice. With this is what I use in drafting my pattern. Alright, so now that you are done, the distance from that straight line to where you mark your waist, we are going to use it. But before then, let's go ahead and divide our bust span. So for me, my bust span is 8. I'm going to divide it by 2 and then connect the line vertically. So when you are done connecting, all right, next thing is to go to your side. From the distance from your side to your waist measurement, that straight line, whatever you have, divide it into 3. All right, for me I have 2, so divide 2 into 3. So now this 2 is not standardized. Remember, it depends on your body. All right, so you're going to divide it into 3. So 2 divided into 3, you are going to have 0.6 or 0.7, I think. And then when you are done, mark it on the side, all right, and on the bust span line, just like this. So when you are done, go ahead and connect it. In a situation where all the body parts like the bust, waist and hip are almost the same, please make sure you use half an inch all the way. That's half an inch on the bust span, half an inch on the side. I hope this is making sense. All right, so when you are done, let's move on to another thing. So now that we are done, all right, the next thing is for us to go and cross-check our measurement. When you are done, cross-check your measurement. Remember, for example, my waist is 30, so go ahead, minus that when you get to this side, minus that and you have 7.5. all right, you can see that 7.5 times 4, you have 30. That your measurement is complete. So next is to go to your bust point, come down by 2 inches. It depends on your body. Some might be 1 or 1.5, 2.5 or 3 inches. So how do you get that 2.5? The difference between your full front length or your half length and your back half length. All right, so whatever you have, you mark it there. So for me, my back half length is 15.5 and my full front length is 7.5. That 2 inches difference is what I use as my side bust. Now, to extend the length, in case you want to sew a short dress, you can use this as your practical, all right, and then go ahead and connect it downward. But if you want to sew just like a blouse, you can stop on that hip line. All right, so now that we are done, let's go to the shoulder. On the shoulder line, you are going to go up by half an inch. That half an inch is for the shoulder joining. All right, so when you are done doing that, next thing is to go ahead and add half an inch on your armhole length. That is if you want to add sleeve. So but if you don't want to add sleeve, you can leave it like that without adding the half an inch allowance. So let's go ahead and connect it. If you don't have your French curve, like I said, you can use your hand to connect the dotted lines. All right, so do it like this. And please, I'm begging you, the only way you can support me is by subscribing and sharing this video to your friends. Share them with your friends. I have lots of videos on this channel. Please check it out. All right, now the next thing is to go ahead and add your seam allowance. So for me, I'll be using 1/inch to 1.5 is okay. All right, and if you are doing this pattern for your ready to wear, 1/inch is okay. All right, and in case you just want to try it out, all right, to be sure whether you get it right, just look for a chart, a size chart, pick a size and then use this method to draft it. All right, so now that we are done, in case you want to cut, it is always necessary, it is very important for you to fold the dart into two. If you have your tracing wheel, you can use it to trace it out before cutting it. In case you want to replicate this pattern, you can just place it on your another pattern paper and use your tracing wheel to trace everything out, and it will come out perfectly. So now that we are done, let's turn the paper and go to the back. You can use the other side, but I just wanted it this way. The first thing you are going to do, you are going to mark 1 inch, just like what we did on the front, and come down by 1.5. Remember, the first line is a top line, the second line, which is 1.5, is your shoulder line. All right, so there you are going to place your tape roll on the top line downward and mark your bust point, and then your half length on this one, your back half length. Remember, I said that my back half length is 15.5. all right, yours might be 16 or 17 depending on how big you are. It might be 15 or 14. All right, so I'll go ahead and mark that 15 there. So when I'm done, I'll go ahead and connect my bust point and then connect my half length. But you know, in pattern drafting, in case you are hearing nap to waist is just like this back half length that I told you. Okay, so now go ahead and connect your lines, and when you are done connecting the lines like this, from that half length or nap to waist, let me say back half length or nap to waist downward, you are going to mark 8 inches, and that 8 inches is your hip line. Okay, so on that 8 inches, that's where you're going to mark your hip measurement. Remember, we've already done something like this on the front. So next measurement is to go to your shoulder measurement and divide your shoulder back into two. Like I said, the shoulder back measurement is different from the shoulder front measurement. So after marking it, remember we used 3 inches on the neck width, so I'll use 3 inches there, and the neck depth for the back I'm going to use 1.5 and then connect it just like that. The next thing is to go ahead and connect the shoulder slope just like you've seen. So from that shoulder downward, you're going to divide your bust into 6 plus 1.5, whatever you have, you mark it just like that. Okay, that's from the shoulder downward. So when you are done, go ahead and connect it, and that's your across back, just like the way we did on the front. Now that we are done, on that across back measurement, we are going to divide your across back measurement into two, just like your shoulder measurement or shoulder back, and then connect it. Okay, so on that across back, you're going to divide your bust measurement into 4 and then mark it. The same measurement on your bust point, divide your bust into 4 and then mark it. On your waistline, divide your waist measurement into 4 and then mark it. Then go to your hip line, which is 8 inches downward, and then divide your hip into 4, mark it as well. Now that you are done, go ahead and connect the line straight. Okay, so next thing is for you to divide your bust span into two, just like the way we did. Remember, my bust span is 4 inches. Then go ahead and mark it as well. Then mark it on your waistline and on your hip line, then connect the lines just like this. Okay, now that you are done, just like the way we did the measurements. The distance from the side to your waistline, whatever you have, you divide it by 3, remember, like I said. But for this back, let's do something. Since it's 2 inches, you can divide it into 4. So you're going to mark half on the back, which is the hollow part of your nap. All right, mark half an inch there. On the side, you are going to mark half an inch. On the bust span, you are going to mark half an inch on both sides. That's total of 2 inches. All right, so let's go ahead and do it. So mark half there. On the bust span, you share 1 inch rather into 2, which is 1.5 in total. Then the remaining half, you can use it on the nap to waist. So now that you are done, go ahead and connect it. You can see the way I'm connecting the dot. Sometimes I edited this part, but I just wanted to get used to it. Know the way the dots are being connected, and in case you see something like this, know that this is what I did. So let's go ahead and remove the same dots on the back. This will help you avoid the zip board. All right, in a situation where you don't want that at all, I've done videos on that. Maybe I'll link it on the description box. I've been doing it each time I draft my pattern. I always do that. So now that we are done, let's go ahead and cross-check our measurements. Go ahead and do the same thing. Check your measurement minus that, and then you are done. So we are done. So next thing is to go ahead and contour your armhole. To contour your armhole, the distance from that straight line, your bust to your across back, whatever you have, divided by 2. Remember, for the front, you divide it by 4. So when you're done, use your French curve to connect it, just like this. For this one, you don't have to go in. So on the shoulder, you're going to increase it by half an inch, go up by half an inch. That half an inch is your shoulder joining. All right, and in case you want to add sleeves, you can go ahead and add half an inch all the way the armhole. Okay, now that you're done, go ahead and connect it. With this, you can draft your pattern and then give it out to someone to sew for you. All you need to do is just to add your seam allowance, which is what we are going to do next. Add your seam allowance. You can decide to use 1.5 or 2 inches. I think 2 inches is too much. So 1 inch is okay, unless a customer says, I know I have enough fabric. Well, I want you to add extra 2 inches. So you go ahead and do it. But I prefer using 1 to 1.5. So when you are done marking, go ahead and connect it just like this. So just like this, we are done with our pattern. All right, so I would like you to cut it out and then sew it with the dart. And in our next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to remove the dart and how to sew it. So next thing is to go ahead and cut out the pattern very well. So if you watched this video to this point, please drop a lovely comment for me. Tell me what you've observed. Let me know in the comment section. Please, if this is your first time of coming across my channel, do well to subscribe. And my old subscribers, thank you. All right, I hope I was not fast. Now go ahead and get rid of the back dart. All right, with this method, there is nothing like boarding. Your zip board, no. As long as you remove the back dart and then you sew your dart properly, there is nothing like that, unless you didn't place your fabric very well, which I'm still going to make video on how to place your fabric in order to avoid zip bald, because it is possible for you to draft this pattern like this, but the placement of your fabric can lead to zip bald. I don't know if it's making sense. Yeah, it does make sense. It's possible. So probably when I want to, I'll make a video on that. All right. So now that you're done, go ahead and cut it out. Remember I said we are supposed to fold this dart before cutting, but I forgot. Please make sure you do that. So I'm going to, just like the picture I showed, I'm going to share a video on that using the same pattern. So if you've come this far, I really appreciate you, and I want you to drop a lovely comment in the comment section for me. All right, so remember we have like 2 inches. Now if you place this pattern, the back pattern, on the front pattern, you'll see that the front pattern is longer than the back pattern with 2 inches. All right, so remember we used 2 inches for the side dart. All right, so let's go ahead and remove it from the back, because if you don't remove it, you are going to when you are going to sew it, it's going to be longer. The front is going to be longer than the back by 2 inches. So I went ahead to label it the front, the back, and the zipper line. So you can get a tracing wheel if you don't want to be drafting all the time. Trace this pattern out, and then you're good to go. So let's go to the back and remove the 2 inches. This is very important. There are so many ways to remove this 2 inches, which I'm going to do on my next video. So I'll be showing you how to manipulate these 2 inches, whether your own is 1 or 1.5. I'll show you how to manipulate it. Now that you are done, go ahead and cut it out. So with this, if you now place this back on the front, or you place the front on the back, you see that the sides are going to align after you've already sewn your side bust. Now there's a technique to sewing this side bust. Let's assume the measurement is 6 inches, like from the seam allowance to your bust span is 6 inches. You are going to sew 5. That means you are removing 1 inch. All right, so thank you guys for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video. Stay tuned. God bless you. Bye.